Global manufacturers may be in for a surprise if they believe they can maintain their dominance in China throughout the electric era. Kings of the combustion era like General Motors and Volkswagen are lagging behind regional competitors in China's expanding electric vehicle industry. A nation important to funding and advancing their plans for producing electric and autonomous vehicles, the EV revolution is being led by China. The rest of the world needs to catch up. The key forces behind the development of China's electric vehicle market are aspirations for reducing air pollution, energy independence, worldwide leadership, and strategic clean tech industry. In today's video, we'll talk about China's advancement and the new release of an electric vehicle and how it's shocking the whole industry. Let's begin. The electric vehicle market in China. China will account for 53% of global sales of electric cars in 2021, making it the largest market in the world. Sales volumes increased by almost twice to 3.3 million last year. Comparatively, sales in Europe increased by 65% to 2.3 million, while they increased by more than twice as much in the US to 630,000. The China Passenger Car Association estimates that 500,000 of the 6 million electric vehicle units sold in 2022 will be commercial cars. China was able to more effectively close the price gap with conventional cars, according to the International Energy Agency, by creating smaller cars and benefiting from cheaper manufacturing costs. And when compared to the typical price rise of 45 to 50% in other electric vehicle markets, the cost of an EV in China is just 10% higher than the cost of conventional vehicles. The Wuling Hongguang Mini was the most popular electric vehicle in China in 2021. The joint venture between General Motors, Wuling Motors, and state-owned SAIC Motor created this compact 4-passenger EV. With a starting price of about $4,500, EVs are generally affordable. EVs are more practical than conventional vehicles from the standpoint of the consumer for a number of reasons. For instance, they're less expensive to maintain and use less energy than conventional internal combustion vehicles. Governments all across the world have also been providing incentives to increase adoption rates. Generous government subsidies were first implemented in China in 2009 and were initially scheduled to be tapered off the following year. Beijing did, however, extend the EV subsidy program for a further 2 years in 2020 to boost demand following the COVID outbreak. China is currently thinking about adding a 23 extension. However, specifics have not been determined. Additionally, it looks like the Chinese government is thinking about raising the tax exemption for EV purchases, which would cost the country RMB 200 billion, or approximately 30 billion US. Concurrently, the government devised an EV credit system that mandates a specific proportion of all vehicles sold by a manufacturer each year to be battery-powered in order to make up for the phase-out of national subsidies. Manufacturers must obtain a specific number of credits every year to avoid financial penalties. The requirements to earn credits become more demanding over time, helping China reach its target of having EV sales account for 40% of all vehicle sales by 2030. But wait, before we continue, we'd like to ask for a few moments of your time. If you want to support us, please leave a like and click on the subscribe button. This will help us create more engaging content for you. Now moving back to where we left off. Numerous provincial and municipal governments in China have put measures into place to encourage the growth of the domestic EV market. China adopted nationwide green energy license plates for alternative vehicles in 2017, which are much easier to obtain and much less expensive. They're not subject to the license rationing system. China's Tier 1 cities getting a license plate is exceedingly difficult for owners of traditional vehicles. To combat traffic and suffocating pollution, Beijing has adopted a license plate lottery. 2018, the odds of winning the monthly draw was as low as 1 in 2031. Shanghai, in contrast to the Chinese capital, has an auction-style system in which bidders compete for plates. However, the city offers new EV owners complimentary green license plates. Additionally, owning an electric vehicle per se can save the Chinese up to $12,000 US. Beginning in 2014, this favorable policy is anticipated to last until 2023. But why has China's government been so active in promoting electric vehicles? First off, electric vehicles offer a more environmentally friendly way for individuals to get around and promote China's government's broad plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Since the late 90s, China has been severe environmental concerns related to air pollution, which is largely caused by vehicle emissions fueled by the usage of fossil fuels. According to a 2013 study, the average life expectancy of the total Chinese population was reduced by 4.6 years in 2013 as a result of exposure to fine particulate matter pollution. Beijing launched its first national air quality action plan the same year, changing the city's long-standing policy of putting economic expansion ahead of environmental concerns. By all accounts, they were effective. China's efforts to reduce air pollution led to a significant improvement in air quality. The average PM 2.5 level decreased by 58% between 2013 and 21, from 72 micrograms per cubic meter to 30 micrograms per cubic meter. According to reports from the Ministry of Ecology and Environment, China has no longer listed among the top 5 polluting nations in the world by 2020. But there's still a lot of work to be done. The amongst pollutants in the nation continues to exceed the World Health Organization's 5 microgram guideline, and during the winter, smog levels can approach 200 micrograms in some industrial areas in the north. According to the Global Burden of Disease study from the University of Washington, air pollution in China contributed to almost 1.4 million premature deaths in the country in 2019. Beijing was urged to update its national air pollution regulations and strengthen legal safeguards for people's health by a state-funded task team that was appointed by China's National Pollution Research Program. Additionally, it asked the Chinese government to support clean energy, modernize polluting sectors, and manage traffic pollution. Second, despite a volatile geopolitical environment and rising prices, China wants to reduce its dependency on oil. In fact, a research from the think tank Carbon Tracker indicates that by 2030, the predicted growth in the world's oil demand might be reduced by 70%. As a result of China's push for EV adoption in emerging nations, since 2017, the Asian country has become the greatest energy consumer and oil importer in the world. Beijing was able to purchase Russian energy at a lower cost as a result of Western sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Moscow replaced Saudi Arabia as China's top crude oil supplier. However, as oil prices continue to soar, analysts predict China may spend an extra $100 billion on imported crude oil this year compared to 21. The affordability and supply security of energy have become major concerns due to the volatile energy markets. The 14th five-year plan for a modern energy system was released in March 2022 by the National Development and Reform Commission and the National Energy Administration. The initiatives aim to strengthen China's energy security and quicken the ongoing shift to a low-carbon economy. But, 2025 serves as a significant benchmark since it's predicted that non-fossil energy consumption would rise by about 20%, non-fossil energy power generation will reach about 39%, and electricity will make up about 30% of total energy consumption. In order for China to achieve its carbon neutrality targets and lessen reliance on imported oil and gas, it must complete its electrification project. Despite this, there won't be any limitations on coal use or the amount of coal-fired power generated in the near future. Beijing will prioritize immediate energy security even at the expense of its environmental objectives as China's main energy consumption rises. And last, China seeks to benefit from huge economic prospects and gain global leadership in the crucial EV sector. The development of new energy vehicles is crucial for China's car industry, according to Chinese President Xi Jinping, who stated that it was the only way for China to advance from a huge automobile country to a powerful automobile center in 2014. Although, above all, China is the greatest auto market in the world, but has never been able to establish itself as a traditional automobile export center. Since easing its joint venture regulations for EV manufacturers in 2018, more foreign automakers have based themselves in China to produce cars for other markets. The first American business and foreign automaker to have a wholly owned production facility in China was Tesla. But maybe future transportation will be shaped by electric vehicles, and China is leading this change. The industry still has more ways to go, and considerable technological advancements are required to address structural barriers to the broad adoption of EVs. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you want more content related to this topic, make sure to check out our channel. Take care, and we'll